Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to Goldrush Crypto Daily. I'm your host, and today we are diving deep into the absolute fire that is the crypto market, with a special focus on the Layer 1 powerhouse internet computer, ICP. This has been one of the most interesting and exciting 24-hour periods we've seen in a very long time, confirming what we've all been waiting for. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel. I sincerely appreciate all the support. It fuels the gold rush. Without further ado, let's get into this market because the narrative has officially shifted. Let's start with the big dog. Bitcoin did see a slight dip early in the day, momentarily touching below the psychological $100,000 mark. However, we saw that dip bought up fiercely, and BTC has staged a beautiful recovery, currently holding strong at $102,219. But in my opinion, the most electrifying story of the day is the altcoin space. We are seeing the top 10 altcoins performing incredibly well. More importantly, when you scroll down and look at the smaller market caps, we're seeing multiple projects up 30% or more in the past 24 hours. This, my friends, is the signal. It has been a very long time since we've felt this kind of bullish momentum in the altcoin space. And I know a lot of you watching this channel are heavily invested in quality altcoins, especially projects like Kaspa and ZBCN. If you were able to hold through the bearish, fearful times, I truly believe your patience is about to be rewarded massively. The altcoin season could be starting right now. While it's impossible to predict with 100% certainty, and a pullback is always possible, I believe the downtrend is closer to being over than anything else. All right, let's focus on the absolute star of the show, Internet Computer, or ICP, which has just vaulted up the ranks and currently sits as the 29th most valuable coin in the space. Current price, ICP is sitting at a massive $9.29, up a staggering 7.53% in the last 24 hours and over 190% in the last 7 days. And, yeah, a robust $5 billion market cap. The 24-hour trading volume is an incredible $1.68 billion, showing massive institutional and retail interest pouring in. A huge positive for ICP is the tokenomics, which is, another critical point for investors. ICP has nearly 100% of its tokens in circulation. This is a massive positive because you do not have the overhang of heavy future inflation or massive token unlocks that plague many other Layer 1 projects. ICP's tokenomics are solid, and that's a key factor in its explosive recent performance. If we look at the chart, ICP, like many altcoins, saw its peak back in late 2024. It got as low as the $2.90 range, but what we are seeing now is a strong, definitive V-shaped recovery. You were brave enough to be accumulating down at those levels of immense fear. Congratulations. You are already sitting on massive gains. It was the perfect time to be accumulating when the market was gripped by fear, often for no fundamental reason. Shout out to you guys. So, where do we go from here? Now, is $9.29 a good buying price? Given the coin is up over 200% in the past week, buying here carries elevated risk. Personally, I would be disciplined. I would look for a healthy pullback, perhaps to the $5 to $7 range, before initiating a new position. However, for the middle to long term, the risk to reward on ICP is compelling. So, here's my altcoin season prediction. I really think that in this true altcoin season, ICP could potentially reach a $50 to $100 billion market cap. The foundation is definitely there. There's a really solid community. Honestly, it's an incredibly strong and vocal group. And let's not forget the narrative. ICP is rebranding itself as a key AI blockchain, especially with the recent launch of their no-code AI platform, Caffeine. This just taps directly into the hottest crypto narrative of the year. Now, a move to a $100 billion market cap from today's price would be a phenomenal 21 to 25 times return. That would be absolutely incredible, right? But remember the golden rule. I'm not suggesting you buy at these prices and hold all the way to 100 billion. The wisest decision in crypto is always to watch your indicators, like the fear and greed index, and slowly take profits on the way up as the market enters a state of greed and euphoria. Honestly, the worst thing you can do is let greed control your buying and selling. All right, let's zoom out for a second and look at the macro landscape that's fueling this fire. So, let's talk about the fear and greed index. Right now, the crypto fear and greed index is sitting at 25, which, puts us squarely in the fear territory. Whenever we're this low, it has historically been a fantastic time to be accumulating altcoins. In crypto, you really need to be doing the opposite of the herd. If the majority are scared, it means you are getting insane discounts. Just a quick disclaimer here, Nani. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. These are just my opinions and thoughts on the market, so please make sure you do your own research. Now, let's dive into the Clarity Act, which is the Crypto Market Structure Bill. This is a massive, multi-trillion-dollar catalyst. A White House official is actually saying the crypto market could hit a $20 trillion valuation once the market structure bill passes. Given we are currently sitting at about 3.38 trillion, a $20 trillion market cap would lead to an altcoin season unlike anything we've ever seen. So what's the reason for all this optimism? Well, the lack of regulatory clarity has kept massive institutional capital on the sidelines for years. Under the previous hostile administration, we were never going to get this clarity. But the current push, which saw the Clarity Act pass the House, is now in the Senate as of November 2025, and it looks like we could have a finalized framework by the end of November. This is huge. Earlier today, news broke that the overwhelming majority of FOMC members, 8 out of 12, now support massive quantitative easing, also known as money printing, in December. While the timing might be early 2026, the key news is that quantitative tightening is officially ending on December 1st, 2025. We are moving in such a bullish direction for all risk-on assets. This macro ammunition to stimulate the economy is the number one reason I do not believe we are going into a bear market anytime soon. We are likely heading for a scenario where quantitative tightening ends on December 1st, 2025. Rates continue to drop, with cuts expected in December, March 2026, and June 2026. Quantitative easing will likely return in early 2026. So, this setup is going to cause a parabolic pump in the crypto market, the stock market, and basically every risk-on asset. Extreme greed and euphoria are what will follow, and that's when we can actually start talking about a real chance of a bear market. Calling it now is simply way too premature. All right, Gold Rush Nation, that's all I have for today. The market is hot, the catalysts are stacking up, and ICP is really proving itself to be a true leader in this new phase. Don't forget to like and subscribe. What are your thoughts on ICP's recent surge and the potential for a $20 trillion crypto market cap? Let me know in the comments below.